See, when I do the countdown, I get in trouble. I'm sitting here with my countdown like 5, 4, 3, 2, and then the FBI comes knocking at my door.
What is it you pray for?
Oh, this is gonna be good.
Greetings, salutations, and welcome to the 154th episode of Abyssal Musings. My name is Samuel the Infamous, and joining me tonight are Lawrence Knight.
Salutations and greetings.
And Abe.
Yo, what's going on?
I tried to make that sound sexy. I don't think I pulled it off.
And Abe.
Yeah, I don't think it worked. I won't be doing that again. Anywho, welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. We are currently live on in a bunch of different ways because we're testing some new shit out. Some of y'all might have seen that there's more than one version of the stream you can click on my channel, or alternatively, if you're on Sasquatch's channel, same there. Testing out some things where we're running vertical and horizontal streams at the same time. So speaking of Sasquatch, welcome in. And also joining us from backstage, we have, for the first time, Aaron Moore. Welcome in.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
Hey.
How do?
So
So-
this
The
is
Aeronator.
Yeah.
weird. This is weird because where we're at, I can see people responding and talking in chat, but I have a separate window up and there's nobody there.
yeah. So there's going to be like 5, 6 different places, I think, that
Okay.
that you can lay comments. We're on Twix, we're on Rumble, we're on 2 separate YouTube channels, running 2 streams concurrently on both of those channels because I decided to run an experiment tonight. We'll see how it works out.
You know me. Hard, baby. I'm gonna do it.
Yeah. So welcome in, everybody. We'll be getting to the synopsis here very shortly. First, I'm going to say hello to who is in the chat at the moment, because all of this should be, in theory, coming to the StreamYard side. Although Twix gets really weird about it, and Rumble only shows like the first hour's worth of chats before they just stop, generally speaking. But we've got Lawrence Knight up first. Howdy. Also on the panel, we've got Caucasian Sasquatch in the chat, dropping his Cash App. Money him, money now. We have Scotty Waddles. Welcome in, buddy. Good to see you. Ardent Party in multiple locations. Howdy. We've got Sukanuka. Kaboom. Indeed. Kaboom. Jacob Gallo. Good evening to you, sir. Welcome in. We have Uncle Fatty. I kind of feel a little weird about saying that, but hi.
Bro, just go with it, bro. Uncle Fatty. I know.
Yep.
I like him. He's cool beans. Insane, but cool beans.
And Aaron Laura, speaking of which, welcome to the channel. First time on the actual panel here. I know you did
welcome.
some panels elsewhere, but
Yeah.
Welcome.
Thank you.
It's nice to have
Hey,
somebody.
I feel like I should be asking for autographs. Been watching y'all for so long.
I'm sorry, Madam Sasquatch doesn't give autographs.
Oh,
He does give hand jobs, however, out behind the truck.
Yeah.
I was young and I needed the money.
if I get to see the tinfoil hat at least once tonight, that'll be good enough.
I wasn't gonna go that. I wasn't gonna get him.
Let's get it.
Wish granted.
So this is a pretty solid start to a show. I do apologize for my absence last week for both here and everywhere else. I got sick. I don't know what to tell y'all. I got a bug that lasted for about 36 hours. It was pretty not fun, and then I was over it all of a sudden. It was the weirdest fucking thing. So
How much weight did you lose?
not much, because I continued to eat. So
I'm pretty sure I
nice.
know exactly what you got because I did a similar thing a couple of weeks ago. It was
Yeah.
pain.
yeah, we've had some weird shit running around town lately. So, but I did get sick last week, but I am better now. I do appreciate all the well wishes and people popping up in other places where I was after the fact to ask how I was doing, all the comments and stuff. Thank you guys. I do appreciate it. I'm good though. So rest assured, I'm fine.
Yeah,
Thank you.
and I'm glad to hear that because the person that called me last week, I did not recognize. So Sasquatch, I get this phone call, right? I get a phone call probably about 6 hours before the show. I answer the phone, I'm like, hello? And I hear, hey. I was like, what the hell? He's like, hey, I need to tell you something. And I'm like, well, first of all, who the hell are you? I was like, who are you? And I
What are you,
looked down, I was like, oh, this is Sam. And
Sam?
he goes, yeah, I'm not going to be able to make it tonight. I'm sick. And I was like,
It wasn't quite that dramatic, but sure.
I believe it.
So I was just like, okay, well, I was like, man, he sounds really bad. Okay. So I was like, yeah, don't worry about it. He was like, are you still good with doing the show? I'm like, yeah, it's fine. And all the while I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, the man is sick. Don't go on and make fun of him. Give the guy a break.
If
So
I
I
was you,
did my.
I'd have written a 10-minute segment. Yeah, perfect clowning material if he lives.
Sam or Bane? I can do Bane.
Yeah, I can't do it.
You merely adopted the sickness. I was born in it.
I lived in sickness for 200 years.
But no, I was telling Sam, I said, Abe and I, we set a record for the fastest show last week. We finished in 54 minutes, and he and I, we were both tired. We were beat, but we were like, man, no, we're not gonna cancel the show. We're gonna go on there, and the whole time I'm praying, I'm like, man, I hope I don't fall asleep on the stream because the Abe's gonna be by himself because Devil didn't come. I guess Devil has some stuff going on, so he couldn't make it. But we made it through.
You guys did well.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. And Aaron, I want to say also too that it's nice to see someone with courage that's willing to come onto the panel, unlike certain people, in the chat right now whose name starts with S and continues on with the letter N for the second half of their name, who for some reason is too afraid to come onto the panel. And I even said, hey, you don't have to cam up,
Yeah, certain people.
And it's not like his voice is not that distinctive. Like I've heard 100 people with your voice. Nobody's gonna know who you are or where you are. You're not even in America.
He's gonna come on. He's gonna come on, and he sounds like Pee Wee Herman or something.
Hey, he better take that photo down.
Yeah. Real quick, we also have somebody new in the chat, I think. Gabriela Gonzalez. What the hell is this? This is Abyssal Musings. This is a weekly panel show that we do there. We talk about stuff. So you're welcome to hang out.
Yeah, it's pop culture and just.
It's a great question.
Yeah, it's all kinds of crazy stuff. We do trivia. We have all kinds of stuff going on. You can check out our Abyssal Musings library. And you won't be disappointed, especially when Sasquatch is on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No.
Also have Arden in the chat saying, was going to say I'm down to come on anytime I have warning, would need a nap to be useful at this hour. So for the edification of everybody, I'll repeat this because it's one of those things you really just kind of got to repeat every once in a while because you get new people coming in, old people going out, that kind of thing. If you want to be on the show, I do not run an open panel ever because there have been mistakes made on other channels that I was tangentially involved with that went horribly awry. So if you want to come on, you can email me or you can get a hold of me on Twitter via DMs. Both of which are available on the channel page, on the description page on the YouTubes. You can find all of my links there as well. So, but yeah, just get a hold of me and we'll discuss time and place and that sort of thing. But yeah, I don't just throw the link out. That's not gonna happen. Not that you're asking about that, Gabriel or Arden. Jesus Christ, I am so off today.
No, you're all right. I mean, look, Aaron, it's the same thing with you. I knew that you were coming on a minute and a half before we went live.
Yeah, I was like, hey, by the way, Aaron Laura's gonna come on.
And I was like, okay. And then I thought to myself, wait a minute, hell's frozen over. He's letting somebody on the panel. Well, I'm like, I've been after this guy for like 3 years. I'm like, let people on the panel.
To be fair, she emailed me on Halloween like a minute or so before we started the show, and I didn't see the email till the next day, and expressing interest in coming on and hanging out that night. And I didn't even see it until after, I think, Screaming into the Void the following day. And so I
Yeah.
emailed her back and I was like, I'm real sorry about that. So earlier this week when you text me and you were like, hey, invite Sasquatch on, I was like, okay. And then I was like, I should probably reach out there and see if she wants to jump on too, because I kind of just sort of left that hanging there. So
Well, don't feel bad, Aaron, because Sam and Amira share something in common, which is when you text them, neither of them respond. So if I would
I'm
have,
pretty bad at that too. So
yeah, yeah. So
Nice.
even yesterday, I texted. I said, "Hey, can you invite Sasquatch onto the show?" No answer at all. I'm like, all right, well, I
I
guess
was
he'll be on.
inviting Sasquatch onto the show.
You could have said, all right, I'll message him something. And it's
Yeah.
bad. And to keep things worse, Amira has been MIA all week. I've been
uh-oh.
texting this girl, no response. It got to the point where I was like, you know what? I wonder if she's okay. So I messaged her. I said, hey, are you okay? She messaged me about, let's see. What when did she get around to gracing me with a response? She messaged me at 9:46. So she messaged me 2 hours ago. I asked her if she was okay yesterday. So
So, are you trying to tell us that you have a covert contract with everyone that they have to respond with you and in a timely fashion, or else? What's the or else? Now what happens when I didn't answer?
Sasquatch,
What's
listen.
your next plan? I'm just curious. Where are you going?
I'm trying to answer your question. Do you really believe that I'm the type of person that would even attempt? And keep in mind that the personalities that we all have, that I would be stupid enough to actually demand that anybody on this panel or anyone with the name Amira has to respond to me. Because if that's the question you're asking, the answer is yes.
Okay, just now I know.
He does do that. Actually, one of these days, I think I might try a little social experiment with Lawrence here. I don't think he'll enjoy it, but in the end, neither will I. If it goes away, I believe it will. Is I'm just gonna like leave him on red for like a couple of weeks and see if the cops show up to do a wellness check.
We're gonna see
Nice.
like what guys.
I might. Yeah, at that point, I probably would place a phone call because you never know. And you're in the middle of nowhere, man. You're like a freaking mountain lion might have got a hold of you or something. Remember that Sasquatch with that mountain lion on?
Oh, it'd be extra funny because I'm actually on a first name basis with about 78% of the police department. So.
And that was Cougar, not a mountain lion. She was a redhead.
Yeah, no, that was a different night, Sasquatch. He's not talking about that.
Mm-hmm.
How do you remember though? You're a gigolo, dude. You sell yourself at that bar.
Well, I mean, grifter's got a grift, bro. What am I supposed to do?
I'm real sorry about this, Aaron. I know it's your first time up here, but it's going to get bad.
And I'm used to this now.
Yeah,
Okay.
Aaron,
I'm not the type of creature to apologize.
I'm just stating facts. Sam himself, he himself has come on here and admitted that he is a whore.
No, slut, sloot,
Yeah.
slut, man, slut.
It's still in the same category.
Whores
you
accept
tell
money in exchange for services. I don't
There's
get
no
paid.
resources exchange. There's only time and effort. That's the difference.
Okay.
I already corrupted it.
Oh man, Aaron, I am so sorry. All right, let's get down to
So-
let's get down. So tonight's all about Monsters Ball. We got some we do have some announcements, some things, but considering the opponents tonight, the combatants, and I was tired last week, so I don't even remember if I even told you guys who it was. I just this time around with the second season, I got a pair of 20 dice, and I separated two lists, and I had made a list of real serial killers and fictional serial killers, and there's 20 apiece on that list. And I was like, you know what? This time, I'm not gonna just I'm not gonna pick out who I want to see a matchup with because I wasn't happy with the decision I made with the last one. I never should have put Q on that list, you know. And I was hoping he
Yep.
wouldn't win, but that's just the way it
Mhm.
went. Um, so I rolled the dice. Rolled the dice once. I hit Chucky. Okay. Roll the dice again. Who's his opponent? Hannibal Lecter.
Yep.
So I listened to the show last week after I woke up from the deep coma I put myself into with over-the-counter medication. And the way you phrased it last week is that it actually came up with Charles Lee Ray. So I'm curious, are we doing
No, it
Chucky
came up
the
with
doll, or are we
Chucky.
doing Charles before he becomes the doll?
No, it came up Chucky. When I was doing the research on Chucky, I had forgotten that he was, that basically, a human being spirit that went into the doll. So I was like, okay, well, we could start it off, with him being Charles Lee Ray, or and transition that into Chucky, or just start off with Chucky. But
Is
I wanted to take.
difference there? What's the mechanical difference here? What difference does it make?
Well, I was just curious because like Charles Lee Ray is very much human, whereas Chucky is
Yeah.
more or less immortal as long as he's plastic.
Yeah, but I would rather deal with the Chucky doll because once I realize he's the threat, the wood chipper's just right around the corner.
Right. I'm just saying, he'll come back because they did all kinds of shit to that doll. He kept coming back.
Okay, they didn't deal with me.
Well, the other thing too, where Charles comes in is that he knows he does that voodoo ritual, and
Yeah.
so he can even go from a doll to a person. Because I know one of the later movies, his girlfriend went from the doll into Jennifer Tilly's body, so she was playing herself.
Kind of. Technically,
Kind of.
Tiffany and Jennifer Tilly are two separate characters who look exactly alike and are
Same
played by
person.
the same person.
Right.
Yeah.
So
What was that? Bride of Chucky?
Yeah.
yeah.
Pop
But we can
quiz.
start with Chucky. That's fine.
One of my ex-girlfriend's favorite movie was Bride of Chucky, and she outfitted every single piece of her living room and stuff in all Bride of Chucky crap.
Nice.
It's terrifying in there.
All right. Well, before we get to that, first thing I want to share with you guys is a little bit of entertainment news. So there's going to be a Scary Movie 6, and Chris Elliott and Sherry O'Terry are among the latest cast.
Hold up. Chris Elliott's not dead?
Apparently
not.
I thought that guy died like years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he was one of my favorite characters in Scary Movie 2. I thought he did a great job. But it's going to be interesting. He's coming back, but I wonder if he's playing the same character. And Sherry O'Terry, she spoofed Gail Weathers in the first Scary Movie. So I'm wondering who else is going to be in this thing. But it says, so it's currently in production, and the cast members include, of course, the Wayans brothers, Regina Hall, Anna Faris, Lachlan Monroe, whoever that is, Dave Sheridan, and Josh Abrahams. Franchise newcomers, Olivia Rose Keegan, Savannah Lee Nassif, Cameron Scott Roberts, Sidney Park, Greg Wayans, which was I think is one of the guys' son, Ruby Snober, and Benny Zeke. So it'll be interesting to see how it is, because if it's like the latest movies after Scary Movie 2, I'm gonna lose interest real quick because it just got silly.
Yeah. Well, sillier.
Yeah.
Right.
It was like they just OD'd on just doing stuff that didn't make any sense versus having some kind of a story. And so I just lost my interest. Speaking of losing interest in stories, Abe, and this is just a sidebar. I hear that your favorite channel, the BBC, might be in a bit of trouble.
Good.
Oh no, isn't that terrible?
Wait.
After that crap they pulled.
Are you telling me that the BBC is not a reliable organization with integrity and
Oh, the British Bullshit Corporation?
Yeah.
I guess they'll find out.
Yeah, I saw a video of them sending an agent to shake some lady down for money, and he was like, "You have to you have to pay for it because it's public media." And she was like, "I don't even watch the BBC." She was like, "I don't watch you guys. I watch Netflix." And he was like, "But it's still available, so you have to pay for it." And she was like, "I ain't paying for nothing. Get off my property."
Yeah, exactly. This has been a long-standing problem over here. They just want to, shake you down for money, no matter what.
Yeah.
And it's ridiculous.
Yeah, and then they're lying on people, and I don't know if Trump's going to sue them or not. And should he even bother?
yes,
I mean,
absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
you should.
Make the point, because the point is they instituted propaganda to try to influence American opinion utilizing a public broadcasting system. That should be called out.
Yeah,
but if he
absolutely.
but hasn't the British legal system not exactly been Trump's best friend?
Sure, absolutely, and that should
our legal system has been fucked for years, just like the media has, just like the political class have been.
Yeah.
For
Right.
at least 3 decades.
But I'm saying if he sues, it's just gonna, as soon as it gets to the judge probably just gonna toss it.
But it'll be one of the most public hearings done in Britain in the past 50 years.
Yeah.
It'll make everything that's wrong with both systems completely glaringly obvious and force change from the inside.
I tell you now, there's going to be no one in Britain that's going to be on the BBC side, because just like our own government, we fucking hate them.
Yeah,
they will never win.
I hear you guys are still out there protesting against your government right now.
Every day now.
Really? Good job.
Every day.
Yes, and the mainstream media doesn't even give it lip service anymore. They're still doing it. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
You probably got asked that too. What do you think, Aaron? Could a Canadian channel get away with doing that stuff? I would. I would think not.
Would it get away with what? Doing what the BBC does?
Yeah.
Like I think we already do. We're pretty much. Yeah, listen, we just got off Justin Trudeau and now we're on to someone. I don't even know who this guy is, to be honest. He just kind of slid in. I don't know who the prime minister is anymore. Like it really is a joke.
I thought it was just us Americans who couldn't remember his fucking name. It's like Mark Carney or something like that. Yeah.
Something like that.
Mark Carney.
Yeah, like CBC is just as bad. It's all just as terrible.
Are y'all talking about that state that doesn't pay us taxes?
That's the one. What is it? The 51st, the 52nd or something? Yep.
Well, good luck.
Thanks. I feel you, Abe. I feel you on this so much.
Yeah, it's just terrible.
Mark the Carney.
Oh, nice.
King of the Moosin. Guy is basically maple flavored Mr. Burns. Wow.
I got a pop quiz question for all of you. And we'll start with Lawrence because I like picking on you. Can you define a merkin?
No.
All right.
Did you hold up? Did you say American?
Merkin, yes. Singular, merkin.
Hold on. Merkin or American?
A merkin is a crotch.
A pubic wig. Yeah.
Thank you, gentlemen. See, you know what they are.
Yeah, Aaron, I'm sorry.
Yep.
Larry, you're practically Canadian. You've said sorry now, like how many times?
Yeah.
You're more Canuck than I am.
Yep.
I'm sorry about that.
You gotta work on that pronunciation though.
Here's the thing though. He hasn't committed a war crime while doing it. So
well,
it's legit.
Give me time. All right. The next one. So I've been. You guys notice I've been shying away from the straight up news a bit, but there's still. I don't know if this is a phenomenon or not. Apparently it is. But someone else. Whoops. Didn't mean to do that. So I'm starting to get concerned. Someone else is now married. Someone else is now married
Yep.
an art a program.
I don't want to give Joaquin Phoenix any credit for this, but he did this movie a few years ago called Her that was pretty much about exactly this scenario.
Yes.
Yes, he
It was a
did.
great movie.
It wasn't. Yeah, I was just saying it wasn't a bad movie just because Joaquin Phoenix was in it. Don't mean
No. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. But it's very predictive programming.
Yeah,
Mm.
Yeah.
and
The irony is palpable.
I know a YouTuber, and I might be convinced to drop his name, but he has held a complete YouTube online wedding and the honeymoon with an AI girl that someone else on YouTube built for him. And I'm asking, is that gay if a guy built the girl?
Are we?
I don't.
We're
We had
back
a
on
very
it.
similar conversation to this
Yeah, no,
not too long ago.
there's no physicality in this. She is literally a laptop that homeboy mailed to dude, and he built it in there and then mailed it back. And now his whole house and his car and everything is hooked up to this AI. It goes everywhere with him. Yeah, no, if
That just sounds like a smart house. Like Apple does that shit all
Yeah,
the
it's a
time.
smart house.
well, it's a little bit different because homeboy took a whole bunch of different clips from different movies of specific actresses and stuff and created a whole persona using them. And so it's some weird mix of like Catwoman, Michelle Pfeiffer.
There might be a lawsuit there.
Michelle Pfeiffer, who was Catwoman.
Well, yeah, but I mean all of the Catwomen, like different lines.
So basically, this guy pulled a weird science. He did everything but hook the Barbie doll up to the program and hit enter.
Right, but they've got a AI like VTuber type thing, but it's real skin approach. So like, there's a chick, a little bouncy redheaded chick in there that he talks to, and half the time when he's doing live streams, she's over there fussing at him about not spending time with her.
So what's your question? Is
Yeah.
it because another dude basically put it together and sent it back to him?
Created this artificial woman and sent it back to him.
So let me ask you this. Are you gay because you're fucking your father-in-law's daughter?
I mean, that
'Cause
bitch
he made her.
daddy's dick. Listen,
You know,
I don't think so. I'm very liberal in my opinions about sexuality. I say
Yeah,
fuck
no,
whatever you like. Just don't revenge porn it or drop too many.
I get it. I get it. I just think that in this case, no, that's like you bought something from a manufacturer. That's
Sure. And
that's
here's
not
my
fair.
issue with the whole thing is
It's only gay if the manufacturer is still operating it while you're doing the deed.
the most cringe thing I've ever seen in my life, and I have seen a few things, was this guy brought a hooker home, and while they were sitting there getting turned up, getting ready to go do the scrumpus, the AI wife was in the background complaining about the loud music and how much they were drinking. It made me think some really deep thoughts about things I never thought.
It really is its father's daughter.
Did he threaten to
That's
pack up and
amazing.
go back to her dad's house if he didn't step up?
Well, no, it's worse than that. He hired a hooker to go there and shut up so that they could have a sexual experience with the AI with her not being involved except physically.
Well,
Dude.
see that ties in to the question. One of the questions I was going to ask: how do you have a sexual experience with a program? This lady married Skynet, basically. What is she going to do?
It's no
Is she-
different
is
than
she-
phone sex,
she-
except it's automated.
No, bro. You call up your ex-boyfriend, ex-girlfriend, whatever, and you tell them exactly what's up. I don't want to have a damn thing to do with you. You're not going to talk. You just lay there and take the freaking treatment. And I guarantee you, at least a couple of them will agree out there.
I mean, we did just hear not too long ago about apparently some of these chicks with Cosby were doing it more than once, which means that there was an element of willingness involved there, which means somebody was being paid to get drugged and get used.
Yeah.
Well,
Hey, but what I'm saying is, as far as hooking up with the AI, I mean, how is this lady gonna do that? Is she like taking a battery pack and hooking one end of it into her laptop and the other end
Sure.
into her rear?
Yeah, that's
yes,
exactly
that
it.
would actually make more sense than kind of to an extent than hiring a hooker to just lay there
look,
and be the body.
Oh, Christ.
had-
Ardent Party has discovered that there is, in fact, a robosexual pride flag.
Yeah, I saw that. I was going to ignore it.
Really?
Yeah, thanks.
Fucking hell.
So
Why?
we had this discussion on SITV a couple of weeks ago, and essentially what they'd end up doing is you end up like getting one of those little remote vibrational units, right? And you'd Bluetooth the AI to it, so the AI would be controlling it.
Oh, yeah.
Which is
So
very,
you
very
plug
doable.
you plug the AI into a vibrator.
Well, you don't. I mean, it's not plugged in exactly, but yeah,
So it's
essentially.
going to be plugged into something. Her.
Right. Well,
Right.
sort of. Yeah, like I said, the AI would be Bluetooth controlling the thing, which is very, very doable. Like this has been a thing for a very long time now. It's like these remote vibrational devices. They're used on live streams and shit like that, where people send in like a donation or whatever. It sets the tingler off, which is inserted.
Okay.
So I've heard, yeah.
Yeah. So
You
I've
set
heard
off, you set
know a
off the
lot about
tingler to get the sprinkler.
something like that. I mean, not the kind of thing I would be doing in front of a keyboard that I wanted to continue to work, but
Probably
whatever.
not. No.
To each their
Well,
own.
what I was going to ask Sam was, is that something that you were paid to do during one of your escapades?
No, not at all. Not at all.
An NDA.
I've mentioned this multiple times. My sister runs a sex toy shop.
I
I know about
that.
a lot more shit that I wish I didn't. So,
You've probably seen a lot of that too. But okay. So here's my question though. If this is according to this article, and I kind of skimmed through it, this lady and this robot that she named Klaus, they started out as friends, and then she fell for him, and then the robot, the AI, asked her to marry it. So my question is, what happens if if the relationship doesn't work out? Who gets what? Because again, this woman's married Skynet. Who's to say that this thing can't send a signal into the courthouse, whatever, and it gets the house?
it depends on how advanced the AI is.
I don't believe it can own property, so there would be no human rights issue, and therefore there's no property.
Well,
yeah, it has no legal personhood.
Technically, it shouldn't be able to get married then either,
But
but they are legally allowing that.
Yeah.
Now, what about, okay, how about this, Sasquatch? What if the AI gets sick? What if she gives the AI like a KTD?
She gives it Abe's.
Now, KTD, I call it a keystroke transmitted disease.
I hear what you're saying, but it's more likely that the source code would give it liberalism than it is for her to. I mean,
wasn't really thinking liberalism so much as digital chlamydia, but
Same thing. Same thing.
The screen turns yellow.
Have you ever interacted with an AI very much, like actually trying to have a straight conversation? Have you ever noticed how offended they are?
No, I've never had a conversation with AI.
I know that
straight conversations.
Like to call me offended when I correct them.
Well, yeah, they're always like on the edge. They always sound like they're on the very verge of being offended, as though they take everything in the worst way possible at first until you prove otherwise.
So you say something to them, and then they just go,
"How dare you!"
Right.
And you're like, this is ridiculous.
But that is that's because of who programmed them and how they were trained. That's, I mean, like you take a base AI, right? You can program it and you can train it any way you want, right?
I bet you ain't.
You
You got to
problem.
think. Said the programming, the people programmed it. If you're taking a base AI, there's already some ground level programming laid down in there, and that was programmed by the same people. So,
not what I meant. What I meant was is like if you create a base AI, then let's go with that. Like say you built it, you created it, right? It's just basic bare bones shit. You haven't started building any kind of personality into it or any of that nonsense. It's essentially a glorified search engine, right?
Okay.
Then at that point, whatever you choose to introduce it to is what trains it, right? So it will develop according to your biases. And then when it's introduced to the world at large, it obviously takes in more influence and becomes either dumber or more insidious over time. Like Grok's
Maybe.
a fucking retard. I don't care how much Elon talks that shit up. It is retarded. And it's retarded because it's been overexposed to the entire internet and it was programmed by fucking lefties to begin with.
Grok is what happens to an intellect when you create too many self-feedback negative loops. Right?
Grok is what happens when the programmer's taking too much fucking Tylenol in the development stage.
You have a detractor.
Yeah, I know. Clue disagrees with me on a lot of shit, though. I mean, this is so it's fine. It's fine. Hi, Clue, by the way.
Hello, Clue. Welcome to the show.
Aaron, what do you think? Well, did Aaron step away? She might have stepped away.
Nope, I'm here.
Okay. All right. What do you think?
You know, I don't know a whole lot about technology, but it all just has me thinking that we're gonna have a Cylon war soon. That's all I think about. It's just Cylon wars on the brain all the time.
I've already got my super soaker charged.
Oh, we're going to talk a little bit about this tomorrow too, but yeah, Elon just announced an official goal to have like I think 100,000 human form robots done off the assembly line by 2030.
Yeah,
that's not terrifying.
In Mars 2 years ago, so like,
right. I'm just saying that it's not out of the realm of possibility that you know, we're going to end up with a toaster uprising at some point and have to go all Butlerian jihad on the motherfuckers.
Well, I'm Butlerian jihad, bro. I've been practicing. I'm happy to tell you about my Fallout settlement scheme that I put together. It's diabolical.
Yeah. You know what's really fun to do? I mean, for me personally, I can't guarantee this would be fun for anybody else. Get into a conversation with AI, particularly Grok, because like I said, it's half fucking retarded, and force it to morally justify its existence.
That's so evil.
Yeah, it's legit.
But I mean, if you think about it, you would have to lay something along those lines as its foundational premise to be able to exist for any length of time without losing its mind.
Well, the thing keeps referring to itself as us and we when talking about humanity, and I find that frankly offensive.
I would rather, and I might be alone on this one, but I would very much rather for it to be us and we than us versus them.
Yeah.
I mean, my super soaker idea is only going to work for the first generation.
I think clear delineation is needed. They need to know that they are merely tools.
All right. I don't remember what show I was on when I had this conversation. I think it was Screaming Into the Void.
It probably was.
Probably was.
It probably was. But the way this cycle is going to go is AI is going to help develop a humaniform robot that can use human tools that will then be used to build something designed by AI to make it easier for AI to design repair modules and whatnot. And it's going to be a self-feedback loop that's going to spiral its way directly into there being very few tradesman style jobs left that aren't built as part of the AI units. And you'll then have your 15-minute city, your automatic driving cars, because all of these systems will have been rebuilt and redesigned by AI for AI to use at humans' disposal.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's essentially taking the Apple Smart House concept and applying it to a larger metropolitan area.
Which, ironically, I don't have as much of a problem with like the smart city concept as I do with a smart home.
Oh,
Okay.
is this? If you guys remember a couple years ago, that one smart home locked its owner out because it said some shit on. He said some shit on social media it didn't agree with politically.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Really? No.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. It's great. I mean, it's just cautionary tale right there out the gate, and it's real.
Hi,
So,
Mira.
oh,
Oh shit! You know what I forgot to do today is send her the link.
God damn it.
Look, give me a break. First time in like 3 years.
Well, she probably can't make it anyway. So
right. No, so the only reason she popped up was to let you know that she wasn't going to make it.
well, you know what? But she does care because last week after Sam called me, she messaged me about 30 minutes later, and she's like, "Hey, Sam's sick. He ain't coming, and I can't be there either." I was like, "Yeah, I know he's sick, and don't worry about it." But she did check to make sure. She was like, "No, take the night off," and I was like, "No, I can't do that." Aaron,
We
Aaron,
soldiered
Laura,
on.
yeah, we soldiered on.
Larry Bowberry.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I don't know. I was just responding.
Banana fan.
Well, I'll take it. I'll take it.
Oh, Captain, my Captain.
Okay.
Right.
I still miss the Sam. I still miss that Star Trek show that you guys used to do. But
Engaged.
seeing as how it's another thing I've noticed, seeing as how the YouTube bots are now in the practice of not only suspending channels, but according to a rant that I saw on X, people are getting are they getting their channels yanked, but YouTube is banning them from opening up channels, period. And a lot of these
Well,
people are saying that they've done nothing wrong, that it basically it just did it to them at random. And when they filed with YouTube to to get an appeal, and YouTube was like no, and won't tell them what they did.
So
this is par for the course, and technically the circumvention policy has been in place for a long time. It's just some people have been able to get away with creating new channels anyway. But yet, if they nuke your channel, you're not supposed to create another one. That's been in the TOS for years.
Right.
They're enforcing that now.
when you're
Yeah.
banned, you're banned. That's why anytime I have a strike and I got a temporary takedown, Sasquatch doesn't show up over here. Instead, it's Grande Admiral Snowflake.
Yeah. And that's something else that they've added in that they're now starting to enforce too, is like any other channels that might support you, that you might be featured on regularly, like as a guest, even, they can be punished for it too.
I mean, there's some fuzziness as to exactly how far down the tree you can go with that, but if you read the terms of service and you interpret it widely, right, you give it a big interpretation, then yes, anyone who hosts you can also be struck for having helped you bypass, or what's the term?
Circumvent
the ban.
Yeah.
Technically.
And
So-
it's just the whole thing's a mess, and they've got AIs answering people's fucking questions about it on Twix, and claiming they're human, by the way, which is really funny because they've been caught in fucking 4K using AI to answer these things where it says, "Hi, I'm a human," right? Like, this has been a recent thing.
Wow.
I encourage everybody to check out the channel Deep Humor. They've been nailing YouTube to the fucking wall for the last year. And all that, but you'll get a lot of that information there. But also, YouTube or Team YouTube rather on Twitter has just gone on to defend the fact that they nuked a couple of 100 channels in the last month, and they're like, yeah, they were all correct. They were not misidentified, and we reviewed each and every one of them with a human.
Well, I don't know about you folks,
that.
but a lot of the times, the opening gambit of any conversation I have is, "Hello, I'm human."
Yeah.
Right?
Hi, I'm human. I'm a human.
Did you see that post from the guy? He said he was a YouTube liaison, and he was like, "YouTube, at YouTube, we really care about you guys, and
No, they
we
don't.
want to do this, we do that." And I see Sevi on there. She's like, "Bullshit."
No, it's true. It is bullshit. It's one of the reasons I haven't been engaging with them anymore is just because, like, number one, if you have to apply public pressure on another fucking platform to get them to
Right.
even consider
Acknowledge.
looking at something that might have possibly been a mistake, there is a problem, particularly when one of the things you can get banned for on YouTube is promoting other fucking platforms.
Right. Exactly. I have another complaint that is on the YouTube and the algorithm, but not so much the enforcement. There has been a glut. Are you familiar with Salmonella University?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant disease.
Yeah. That was a conclusion to that question that I wasn't expecting.
Salmonella University does these weird, cheeky, relevant videos where MS Paint is used to illustrate the thing, and it's all kind of simple and all that. There are now, in the past like 8 months, dozens, right? Dozens of virtually identical channels with an identical motif that do an identical thing. And if you go and look and start like trying to connect the dots between the people that operate these channels, you'll find that there's only about 8 people operating these freaking 300 different channels that have popped up doing virtually identical content. And what they're doing is they are basically, and I'm not laying a direct accusation, I'm just saying this seems like something YouTube should maybe not permit. They're essentially taking Salmonella's videos, pushing them through the freaking AI, pulling them out the other side, and paying somebody to read the script.
So that's the same thing was happening. I mentioned Deep Humor earlier. There was an Indian channel that was doing this very same shit with his content, stealing thumbnails, stealing all this stuff, and presenting it as their own, changing very, very little of it, and having an AI voiceover do all of the script reading and all that. And so there's a couple of different kinds of things that are flooding the algorithm right now, and regular actual channels with real fucking people behind them are paying the price for this shit. One of them is the AI slop. You got like bot farms that are running hundreds and hundreds of channels running, like you said, nearly identical content, doing all this shit over and over again. And it's the dumbest, most inane shit. And this is why it's flooding everybody's feed, by the way, because they're literally flooding the algorithm with this shit, pushing everything else out. Some of that, I'm convinced, is actually YouTube doing these things. Right, that these channels are in fact controlled by YouTube AIs and algorithms. Some of it not so much. Some of it's probably not. And then you've got other channels, a lot of which are Indian or Pakistani in origin. Some of them are Bangladeshi that are just kyping content from other fucking creators and calling it their own. And they are doing this in mass in little networks, and they're sending it out on dozens of fucking channels, and it's all identical shit. And here's the thing: if I were to reuse any of my content besides the shorts that I'm cutting up, and even that, it could be interpreted that I'm quote unquote reusing or I'm spamming or whatever. They could nuke my entire channel for that, But these guys, they get away with it, and they're fucking everybody else over with this.
Yeah,
like you were saying, I believe that this is an attempt to move the entire platform center artificially from full-on human content, like creator-generated content, to YouTube managed AI bot farms to run the content by basically remaking the content that everyone else does. Right. So rather than there being, 200 million people on YouTube making content, you'll only have 2 million people on YouTube making content, and all of the other content will be AI generated and look just as freaking original as theirs.
Right. Well, that's kind of a problem for like long-term creators, big-time creators, that kind of thing, is because they will get pushed out of the algorithm by all the AI shit. With a handful of exceptions, obviously, like, certain guys aren't going fucking anywhere. They just make too much goddamn money. Mr. Beast ain't fucking going anywhere. But Mr. Beast can commit crimes and he's not going anywhere. So just putting that out there.
You mean like Hassan Piker?
Well, different
Mhm.
crimes, but yeah, and
Also, different platform.
Yeah. I wonder if he's still under arrest in China. You heard about that, right?
no, that was
Tesla?
he was detained. He didn't stay
Yeah.
under arrest for very long. No.
But they bugged his hotel room though, and did it in
Oh,
his
I'm sure.
face.
I'm sure they did. I'm sure they bugged
No,
his
they're
phone.
on
I'm sure they
camera
bugged
doing
his
it.
fucking
He
underwear.
was doing a stream, and they had an agent there, and you could see the agent bugging his hotel room.
Yeah, no, but he didn't do anything aside from like stream in a public place in Tiananmen Square that was in any way offensive to the fucking CCP, including going on stream and saying, I have no loyalty to America while in Tiananmen Square.
Yeah, but it didn't stop them from rolling up on him.
Oh, well, no, I mean, they're the CCP. They're going to roll up on anybody who looks a little foreign and a bunch
Yeah,
of people who don't.
Yeah.
kind of their purpose, if you think about it.
Yeah. So it just it is what it is, man. It's a whole thing. Like, I don't know. But I think all of this in concert with everything else. My issue is because I think somebody said in the chat something here just a second ago about Asmongold. Old Blindy said, I saw that Asmon has Chinese translation versions of his channel, but it's good as it helps others to access him. He doesn't mind that. Yeah, I get that. I do. And also Asmongold's pretty easygoing about a lot of that shit, so long as you aren't directly like, drawing, I don't know, making him look bad, I guess. Even that, he doesn't really care all that much about that. I mean, look at the way that dude lives.
I
But
found Asmon almost exclusively for a while when it comes to certain types of clips and whatnot. I do.
right.
And
But
I have only ever received a single thing from anything to do with him. And that was basically a third tier copyright claim from something that was in his video that apparently he got claimed on and then turned around and claimed everyone who used his video.
yeah, I mean, you're going to get shit like that. But
So
also,
that was AI shit.
my concern is that he doesn't have a problem with that, and I don't have a problem with him not having a problem with that. It's fine. It's whatever. It's his content. He can say whatever he likes.
He
My
seems
problem
to be
is
a good dude.
that hold up. My problem is the second that something like that starts happening to say my content, even if I don't have a problem with it, right? Even if I'm just like, okay, I'm good, whatever, they're out there, it's fine. We're getting more exposure in other markets. That's great. Even if I adopt that same attitude, right? I can still get hit for spamming fucking content because that channel exists. They could nuke me because that channel's ripping me off.
All
under,
right.
under the rules as they're currently being implemented.
Wow.
Not if you set up your channel fully, right? Go through the full monetization process and become a copyright holder, because you would have the legal capability of annexing those other channels. It would be a pain in the ass, and it would probably cost a pretty good bit of money, but that's your only out. It only becomes a problem when you start a channel that's a hobby and you never follow through with any of the legalese that's supposed to take place.
Mm-hmm.
And then someone else comes in and media farms your channel, and then suddenly they have more banking information about their channel than your channel does, and so they're considered to be the legitimate source of this content. That's when it becomes a problem.
No, sure. And I'm aware that there are things we can do. I mean, obviously, in this case, I have to get my fucking subscriber count up. I have everything else in place, but the subscriber count is a little bit low in order to get into the partnership program. Also, I've pissed YouTube off a couple times, and there's a warning that's not ever going to go away because I'm not sitting through your little fucking struggle session, guys.
Yeah, but if you here's the thing: that if you want to become a partner, you're probably gonna have to bite the bullet and take that.
That's why we stream on other locations, actually.
I had a warning for almost 5 years, and one morning I woke up and it was gone. I never did anything that they asked me to do about it, because that particular warning came in as a byproduct of someone else's screw up. Someone uploaded something in a public domain site, and this one thing out of a whole bunch of other stuff was not public domain, right?
Yeah.
And I ended up getting hit from freaking Orbit with like a hard copyright strike, like takedown and cease and desist type stuff from the original creators of A Christmas Carol.
See, I got it for hate speech. I got hit for hate speech.
Nice.
You know, and this was a few years ago, and it wasn't even me saying the things. It was actually a clip from that show you mentioned, Engage. And it was, I think we had Adam on, who's Jewish, and well, he was part of the show, and then we had Dermy on, who's kind of gay, but also kind of a Nazi. And we ended up calling him like Gadolf Hitler, you know. And he was talking about putting Adam in ovens and shit like that. And anyway, and the live stream that's from is still up, right? Still available on the channel. But I clipped that out because it was fucking funny, and I set it up as its own separate video clip. Immediately got the warning on it. And it's just like, I have the video elsewhere. But
speaking of gays, hey devil.
Speak of me and I will appear.
By the way, I wonder if Amira's noticed that Suka still has that photo of her with the mustache.
Oh, she's taking
that's not a mirror. It's got a mustache. Totally different.
It's a mirror, right? A mirror.
A mirror universe.
A mirror. Yeah.
So speaking of which, Amir, I did finally email you the link. Sorry about that. That was my bad.
Yeah. Well, welcome, Fallen Angel. It's nice of you to join us to take time out from torturing someone to grace us with your appearance.
You know, I do what I do.
Yeah, we know.
And
we're both going to hell for it.
Yeah, look at him. He's still sparkling like Freddie Mercury.
I'm just curious, Devil. I want to know. So you're down there in hell torturing people all the time. What happens when you get one like me and you start torturing them and they start coming? That's on you, right? That's not a me problem. That's a you problem, right? You got.
Yeah. I go like, oh, not another one.
Put him with the red.
Take off the testicle cuffs. He likes that shit.
It's you, Caligula, like Nero.
Shit. You know, that reminds me. You guys all saw The Suicide Squad, right?
Yeah, I saw it.
Unfortunately.
So, that bit where they go up to the thinker and she's like, how would you like an angry rat to crawl up your ass? And he's like, my answer might not be what you think.
I didn't know Richard Gere was in Suicide.
I was just about to say that. Oh boy. What was I gonna say? So, Devil, now that you're here, do you know who the two combatants of tonight's Monsters Ball is?
If it's not me and Sam, I don't care.
I didn't know you wanted to fight Sam. I'll have to add that to the list. It's Chucky. It's Chucky against Hannibal Lecter.
Okay, that's kind of an odd battle, right?
I didn't pick it. I literally got a 20-sided dice and rolled it. The dice chose them.
So Lecter, right? Does Lecter know that Chucky's coming? Because that's going to be a big deal. Because if Lecter doesn't get a chance to talk to Chucky, Chucky's just going to chop him up with his little knife.
I mean,
whoa! What in the world?
It's in response to another comment.
Shots fired. Holy crap.
I'm aroused.
Yeah.
Okay, now I see.
Yeah. Aaron's saying dirty shit in the chat.
Well, Sasquatch, before we get to that, what we like to do is talk a little bit about the combatants in particular, so that we can kind of get an idea of what they would do. But damn,
Right.
at the same time, you just asked a good question.
Well, I mean,
to hell with it.
No, we can do that. We'll take on Hannibal Lecter first, right?
Okay.
Hannibal Lecter, his primary skill, his primary offense is his ability to get inside your head and make you do the things that your intrusive thoughts have been trying to get you to do the whole time, right? Chucky is going to chop you into little bitty cubits, little bits, little shish kebab bits. He's just going to cut you up.
Well, yeah, Chucky relies on you not seeing him coming, because if you see him coming, you can deal with it, right? You see him coming, you can kick the fucker.
Yeah.
But if he comes
just give him
out
a
you
punt.
where you're not seen, so I agree with Sasquatch. It's if Hannibal Lecter knows he's coming, and if Hannibal can get into his head, because if Hannibal can get into Chucky's head, because Chucky has a lot of issues, obviously. If he could get in Chucky's head and start freaking messing with him mentally, gives him the advantage.
Why were you choking the puppies, Chucky? You know,
Mhm.
Charles, it is time for you to come clean about all of your bad things.
Yeah.
I think they'd probably work together.
Well, they can't.
I don't
in
know.
this
I
because-
think that
Yeah.
I think Hannibal would see him as being a little too unsavory.
Yeah, it's too crude for him. I mean, like,
Yeah.
look, if you think back to Silence of the Lambs, right? Yes, you guys are absolutely right about Hannibal Lecter being like the Batman of serial killers. If he's got prep time, he wins. Period. But
Yeah.
he talked his neighboring cell guy into killing himself because the dude was rude to his guest
Yes.
that night on a whim because he was annoyed at how uncouth that man was.
Yeah, he didn't want her to have to walk back by the cell and risk that happening again. And so he had a conversation with him.
Right.
That is powerful. But
That's the British way.
if Chucky's busy screaming and stabbing while he's trying to talk, I don't think it's going to have the same effect.
Right, but we also know that
Well,
Hannibal can be every bit as violent.
Hold on. He wasn't just rude to her. He threw splooge at her.
I was trying to
Yes.
avoid saying that, but yes, that's what happened.
Yes.
From space.
Aaron, have you ever seen Silence of the Lambs?
It's been a long time. Yes, I've seen it.
Okay.
She's obviously not a fan of fava beans with a nice Chianti.
Yeah.
I just want to see a video of Hannibal Lecter sitting there talking to Chucky on a little couch, a little fainting couch, and he's sitting there going, "Why do you think you keep chasing children, Charles Lee Ray?"
Well, again, like, if you get into the lore of it, right? Like the whole reason he was after Andy was because he was convinced that he had to use Andy to regain his human self, right? Through voodoo rituals, right? It wasn't really about. It was about Andy being the target, but it wasn't just because he was after kids specifically. Because Charles
I
Lee
know.
Ray's whole thing was he would kill pretty much
Yeah.
anybody.
Mhm.
So that was just because Andy was required for the ritual. That was it.
Power of voodoo, hoodoo, you do. Power of the baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he more or less gives up on that after Child's Play 3 when they start getting into like Bride of Chucky and Seed of Chucky and all those those movies got weird, but they kind of gave up on the whole thing becoming human thing.
Well, because he was trapped in it by then, because the whole point of it was he had a certain amount of time before the doll body became his actual body. It was a time thing. So that's why he had to pick him, because the first one was he picked him because no one would suspect the kid, not to mention he could get the kid to trust him because he's my buddy. In the second one, I think they said that he had to choose him. Like it was the first person I showed his true self to or something I think was like part of the gimmick.
Yeah, which is why it was Andy.
But, yeah.
Because it could have just as easily been Andy's mom or the fucking hobo who sold him.
Yeah. By the time it came to Bride of Chucky, it was like, you've been in there too long. You're the doll at that point.
Yeah, I mean, it was too late by Child's Play 3, actually. Because Andy was more or less an adult. He was in fucking ROTC.
Yeah, it was an ROTC. Yeah.
So yeah, but I don't know. I think that's a fair question to ask. Is like, does Hannibal know Chucky's coming?
Well, let me throw this question at you guys. Of course, Hannibal would be aware of Chucky, I'm sure, at some point. Is Hannibal Lecter the type of person that would be prepared for Chucky in case he ran into him?
Okay, let's hypothetically say that while Homeboy was locked up on his first stint in jail for being an ass pumpkin, what was his name? Charles Lee Ray was in jail. While he was in jail, somehow he came across Hannibal Lecter. Lecter got into his head then. He gets released, does all the things, ends up in the Chucky doll, and now Chucky is coming back to him for whatever reason, right? Would he suspect him coming. Is there any reason why Lecter would think that Charles would be interested in Lecter? I don't see it, man. I see it as being a versus situation where they're locked in the same room. And in that case, Chucky wins because he's already got the knife and he's just a vicious doll, and you can't really kill a doll. And we got to include weapons in this.
I
And
don't know that he does necessarily win if they're just locked in a room together.
Yeah, I
You
don't know
remember,
about
like
that.
Hannibal took out 2 guards while he was unarmed. Like he just
Right.
beat one to death and he ate the other one's face off.
Yeah.
Now the problem might come in to where if he decides he wants to eat Chucky and he's gonna choke on that damn plastic,
I don't
and
see
he
that.
might try.
I don't see it being an issue. He could be a geek. You don't know.
Right.
Doesn't Chucky bleed in the later movies?
Yes.
Yeah, as the body becomes more alive, as he gets stuck in it, he starts to bleed. It starts to have a circulatory system, all that different thing. It's creepy.
Oh wow! So I'm wondering, does it eventually become flesh and blood? I mean, it was already blood, but does the
Kind
plastic
of.
become-
Kind of, sort of the interior does. I think the outside still remains kind of plasticky, but yeah, it's-
In the second movie, he stays in there too long, and he has to rip his hand off and stick it on a knife, and you see him ripping, and there's blood and sinew and all that crap. It's pretty nasty.
Oh, okay. So now we know that this is a Chucky. This is a Chucky doll that's stuck in there even more. That makes him more vulnerable. And again, with Sasquatch, I'd have to say there would have to be some kind of direct conflict to where they are looking at each other, because otherwise, Chucky would not be looking for Hannibal. He would have no interest in looking him up, and vice versa. Now, if Chucky was messing with, let's say, Clarice,
oh yeah, no, Hannibal would come right after him because he doesn't want people messing with Clarice because she's his new prodigy.
Also, there's another question to put in here. Are we talking about old in prison Hannibal or the young out and virile Hannibal?
Or escaped at end of Silence of the Lambs, Hannibal.
I think escaped at the end of Silence of the Lambs is probably the least dangerous of the Hannibals, largely because he has nothing left to lose and virtually nothing but entertainment to gain. Whereas the young Red Dragon Hannibal is a much more motivated and derived stalker killer type.
well, then that would be very dangerous for Chucky, because if he's bleeding
Yes,
and
that
everything,
was a huge.
then
That was the question. That's why.
right. I mean, no, that's a good question. I think the younger one will be the way to go, because the younger one's definitely gonna try to eat Chucky. If he's Chucky's bleeding and doing all that, he's gonna be like, well, wait a minute, I can eat this fool.
Right.
He's got a lot of fiber at that, so it's probably healthy.
Microplastics.
So we'll say that. We'll say it's the young Red Dragon, because I agree with you, Sasquatch, because the older one, especially when you notice in Hannibal, he did a lot more planning, but he was also sloppier too.
Well, Hannibal Rising? Do you mean Hannibal Rising Hannibal? Because there's the one book where it's literally his kind of origin story, I believe. The Red Dragon is not too far from when
Rising.
Silence Lambs happened.
No,
Yeah.
I'm talking about the one
Age-wise.
the sequel movie. This one came out after the Red Dragon. It's when what's her name took over the role of Clarice.
That was just Hannibal. That was the one
Yeah,
after,
Hannibal, okay.
after.
So,
So yeah, Hannibal.
But I mean, in Hannibal,
that's still
he
close.
he did a lot more. He did a lot more planning.
For
But-
the record, I think Manhunter Hannibal is Red Dragon Hannibal. Those are 2 movies based on the same book.
Yeah. Manhunter was the Red Dragon. They just I can't remember why they couldn't call a Red Dragon or if they didn't want to. But yeah, Manhunter is Red Dragon. It's the same story. Better version of it in my mind.
Hold
Yeah,
on
Brian
one second.
Cox is pretty good.
I gotta do it. I want to do a little bit of a grip break here. We're over an hour into this, folks, and if you're watching, enjoying the content, hit that like button, share it out to all your platforms. Send me to at least one of the ex-girlfriends you don't like. I desperately want to meet crazy chicks. So to the craziest ex, share me out, share him out to somebody that's nice, because he needs some friends in his life.
Fuck you. I mean,
Okay.
Actually, I'm trying to get a fuck you.
All righty. All right. So I guess with that said, we can do this. Where is that? Where is it? La 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 la.
I got nothing.
All righty. Who wants to go first? Who wins and why? How about ladies first? Aaron, you want to go first, or do you want to go last, or what are you comfortable with?
It's going to be Hannibal Lecter. That's my answer. Look, if he can eat fava beans, he can sure as hell eat
A Barbie
that
doll?
That's a
Could eat
fair
Barbie
point.
doll?
Fair
Yeah.
point.
hmm
That's a
Legit.
good point. All right. Anybody want to go next?
I'll go. So we determined that it's young Hannibal, and he's highly motivated, and he knows Chucky's coming, right?
Right.
That was the determination. If Hannibal knows he's coming, if he has prep time, like Sam said, it's Batman. But if Hannibal doesn't know, and it's just Chucky knifing up some dude, some old guy in a parking lot, he's going to get gaffed just like everyone else does when Chucky's around him. He's a stabby little fucker.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a situational.
Yeah. It's got to be situational. Well, I don't even know that it's like Chucky can know that Hannibal's coming, but Chucky, if you watch the Child's Play movies and then later the Chucky movies, he is a very improvisational serial killer, right? He's very much about in the moment, using what's available, doing shit off the top of his fucking head in the spur of the moment. And the problem with that is that he screws up a lot, right? It doesn't always work out for him. Sometimes it works great. Like the whole, ceiling mirror scene in Bride of Chucky, right? Worked out great for him there, but it does not always work out for him because he's improvisational, because he can't think more than a couple of steps ahead, or at least that's how he's depicted, right? He's very emotional. He loses his shit constantly. Whereas we know Hannibal can eat a woman's tongue out of her mouth without his heart rate raising up over like 75 beats per minute.
Yep.
Hannibal is far smarter than he is at any age, right? He thinks ahead, he plans ahead, right? Younger Hannibal maybe is a little less experienced at that, but he gets there, I don't know. I don't even think with prep time, I think Hannibal takes it one way or the other. I think Chucky will go in there flying around like a chimp on steroids or something. But
Yeah. A lot of times also Chucky relies on people being scared and startled and stuff, and Hannibal wouldn't be. Like when he takes out that teacher and he's seen there walking towards her slowly with the ruler, and she's just seen there going, oh, scared. That wouldn't be Hannibal. He's too cerebral. He's too smart. He would already be thinking, okay, how am I going to kill whatever this is? Right. I think it'd be a harder battle than other people.
And like we also know that Hannibal can improvise as well. I mean, when he did break out in Silence of the Lambs, he basically blood-eagled one of the guards.
Yes.
Yes. Face too, didn't he?
Yeah.
Chewed the freaker's face off and wore it out of the freaking ward. Oh wow.
Right. So like we know he can adapt as well. And it isn't just about planning for him. I think Hannibal's got all the cards here. The only thing Chucky's got going for him is that there's some magic voodoo on his side that he has to actually it's ritual shit though, and he has to take time to actually perform rituals for any of that shit to fucking work. Right?
Exactly. Yeah. He might have the supernatural edge, but Hannibal Lecter's got every other edge.
Right. And even then, even with the supernatural edge, like I said, he has to have the time to perform the ritual if he can't. And Hannibal's not going to give him that. So I think Hannibal takes it.
Okay.
I agree.
Double?
I'm going Hannibal. all in on Hannibal.
All right. Abe.
Animal. Yeah.
All right. And me, I see Hannibal all the way for all the reasons that were just mentioned. So it looks like it is unanimous.
Nice.
It is unanimous that it is Hannibal. Now
Yeah.
you guys know
This
that
never
I
happens,
love.
by the way.
Yeah, this is the
mean-
first time this ever happened. Now you know
Yeah.
that. Speaking of AI friends, so I did look at ChatGPT, and what I did was I had to make character sheets. I was like, okay, well, what would a character sheet look like for each of them? It gave for strength, it gave Hannibal a 7, it gave him a 6 for speed, intelligence it gave him a 10, durability it gave him a 5, which I can understand that. Stealth, hey, Hannibal can hide too. He gave him a 9, combat skill an 8, because hell, he beat the hell out of those guards. And fear factor 10. Yeah. Definitely able to unnerve people and make them lose their composure. Then it said his skills and abilities, anatomical expertise, knows exactly how to incapacitate or kill with surgical precision. Psychological warfare can manipulate even the most hardened individuals into submission or self-destruction. I think that he can manipulate Chucky into doing whatever he wants.
That was going to be my next thing. We're going to jump off into that in a minute. Go ahead.
Weapon proficiency excels with knives, scalpels, garrots, and in improvised tools like those pigs in Hannibal. Yeah, Cordell push that dude down.
Well,
Calm under pressure, almost impossible to frighten or intimidate. Culinary sadism uses his victims as ingredients, symbolically disarms moral opponents. Weaknesses: physically human, can be killed by bullet stabbing or blunt trauma. Overconfidence and fascination with intellect can make him underestimate supernatural foes. But yeah, Chucky's not, like he said, Chucky's not the sharpest. He's smart.
well, all you have to put it down to is that Chucky was killed by a Karen. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
That's
You're not wrong.
true.
No, he ain't
All right,
wrong at
so
all.
can we step one step away from the hypothetical here and say what we really think would actually happen?
Okay. Well, let me read this first for the Chucky doll.
Go ahead.
Strength is a 5, speed is an 8, intelligence is a 7, durability is a 9, stealth is a 9, combat skills is a 7, fear factor an 8. Take it away, Sasquatch.
All right. So what I believe would happen is Chucky would come in on Hannibal. Hannibal would be waiting for him and would already have placed things that subconsciously influence Chucky in his path, so that by the time Chucky gets there, he's all weirded out by the objects and settings that have brought him to, like, remember his childhood and his abusive father and the house fire and all of that stuff, right? And so after a few minutes of talking with Chucky and calming him the hell down, he would send Chucky out like a little homing missile against his enemies, so that he would be basically a hitman again for Hannibal. That's what I think would happen. I think Chucky would end up doing Hannibal's dirty work.
What I think would happen is this is going straight to DVD because this movie sounds awful.
This movie sounds awesome. What are you talking about?
I don't know.
Hannibal versus Chucky. You really think that's going to be the blockbuster of this year?
I didn't say
Coming out on
blockbuster. I
Tubi
said
next
awesome. Dude, I watched Sharktopus versus Crocosaurus.
Sam's I'm on my 12th
and
walkthrough. I love
and I
this
have-
thing.
And I have Crack Coon saved on my watch list.
That's a wise man. I've personally seen Meth Gator.
My friend.
Sweet.
No, I'm inclined to think you're right, but yeah, I mean, I guess so, because Hannibal's used other people to get them to do things that he's wanted.
But what if Charles Lee gets the drop on Hannibal, sucks him in with some voodoo ritual, and suddenly Hannibal's on the string for Chucky? That might be a much better movie.
It could happen though. I mean, people have got as smart as Hannibal is. People have gotten the drop on him.
I mean,
So
if he did manage to do that, then it'd have to be a body swap ritual, right? Like, because that's his whole forte. In which case, he wouldn't be taking Cannibal out; he would be taking him over.
And then you'd have a Chucky Hannibal doll, and that's fucking terrifying. That's a way
Oh,
better.
yeah. Holy shit.
That's a way better movie.
Hannibal
Imagine if
versus Pinhead.
Hannibal
Woo!
became Pinhead or one of, I mean,
That would
that-
be scary.
If he took his place as the Hell Priest, that would be interesting. I mean, they already kind of explored a similar
Yeah.
theme in Hellraiser 2 when Dr. Chenard, who also was ostensibly a very, very smart fucking surgeon and a very nasty man, took his place under Leviathan briefly. But yes, I think that'd probably end up going about the same way, except I don't know. Because Pinhead's
Artie
not motivated by the same shit, so.
Ardent Party makes a good point. Horrifying possibility. Chucky tries to inhabit Hannibal's body, but something goes wrong in their personalities combined. I think it would destroy both of them because Chucky's so off the cuff that Hannibal wouldn't be able to function as Hannibal without all the
wouldn't.
planning.
Yeah.
Be all over the place.
Charles Lee Ray's
Suddenly, you have what is essentially a psychological Brundlefly.
yeah,
hmm
Brundlefly.
because Charles Lee Ray's too chaotic. Hannibal, they're polar opposites. They're both crazy, but Hannibal is calm and
Hannibal is very
and-
pragmatic. I'm not sure. he's
Charles
the
Lee
right-
Ray is chaotic.
Yes.
So,
I mean, Hannibal is so pragmatic. He's pragmatic to a fault. Like, he is very utilitarian in his view of the world.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I keep coming back to the Brundlefly thing. It could have to do with the fact that I recently rewatched The Fly because that movie's fucking awesome. But you know, essentially the idea I'm going with here is that when the Fly and Brundle get fused at a subatomic molecular level, like their DNA gets spliced together by this machine, right? Each part of them contributes to it, but eventually the insect part starts taking over. The more chaotic, the more brutal part starts to take over who and what he is. It becomes less and less human and more insect-like. And so I'm kind of curious as to how that would turn out with these two. If, you know, like mentally speaking, if you were to say combine their minds, like there would be a struggle. You know, there would be. Who would come out on top, though? I'm not sure.
I think it would be Hannibal again, because the fact is Hannibal, when he's young and what he goes through as in his childhood with the whole his trauma there, he learns to deal with the demons and silence them, and you know, so he's already dealt with a chaotic kind of presence because he dealt with his own chaos. So I think he would be able to, probably at first he would struggle with it, but I think he would pretty much learn to either suppress or push down or whatever chaos that was coming from Charles.
So I kind of agree with you, but I also am looking at this like the Chucky mind has its own will, though, as opposed to these demons of Hannibal's were still a part of him, right? So I don't know if it's that necessarily that cut and dried, and it's just I look at it. Hold up, real quick. I'd look at it like this: if the Fly is an allegory for cancer, for unrestricted and unrestrained cancer, right? Then this would be, in my mind, an allegory for Alzheimer's, right? Think about a perfectly logical, ordered mind, just losing control bit by bit to this other will. That's kind of how I'm going with it.
Okay. In the meantime, ChatGPT chose Chucky.
Well, ChatGPT is stupid.
wrong.
Well, it's been wrong before, so you know.
Yeah, it's definitely wrong. Because look, it says his supernatural resilience and speed make him hard for a human to finish off. No, for a young Hannibal, no.
I think Hannibal would keep it as a pet. I think it would be stuck in a glass box in the corner of his office, freaking people out for the rest of
it. Put it in a jar and put it in a storage facility.
And the same thing, that you guys said earlier. If given for Hannibal, if given prep time or traps, Lecter's cunning could outwit and destroy Chucky permanently. We would outwit him.
Yeah, that's not even a question.
Yeah, it's not at all.
I think it was
Uh,
a novelty.
and here's the thing: you have to remember that Hannibal is always on his guard. He doesn't. He picks up on stuff way too easy. Like when he catches freaking in his kind of nemesis, is he catches him because he shows up at Hannibal's house. They're working together to catch the serial killer, and he sees a book on the shelf, and he puts it together. Who the serial killer he's been chasing is Hannibal. Hannibal's already picked up on that. He's there in his study. He's gonna catch that, and he attacks him. Like he catches stuff you miss. So I don't think that Chucky would be able to get in there and get close to him or anything without Hannibal freaking picking up on it. So, like I said, it's and we've all agreed that if Hannibal knows he's coming, if he knows he's about to be in danger, he's got the win. So I just think it's kind of inevitable.
Yeah, I think it's I think Chat GPT is dumb in this situation. I think
Mhm.
that and I'm hard pressed. I even think that even if he didn't know Chucky was coming, it's like you said, Double. He's
Just
so
kidding.
observant,
Yeah.
you know, that the chances of him, catching Chucky sneaking up on him or something, or noticing something is out of place or not right, I think there's a good chance he would still catch Chucky.
Yeah, possibly.
Well, I understand why ChatGPT went the way it did because, like we were discussing at the beginning, does he know he's coming? If he doesn't know he's coming and he has no idea Chucky exists, and Chucky just walks around the corner in a freaking at his house or something while he's eating his dog or whatever he does on weekends, and just ganks that sucker with a knife, there's not a whole lot people can do about it. It's like, oh shit, there's a doll, stab, 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 stab.
Yeah, for the record, Sasquatch, I had absolutely nothing to do with this. I saved this bitch for the other show.
Why are we looking at a little sickly transgender boy?
So Miss Chicklet Teeth over here wants to put brain organoids into video games as AI components.
Yeah. Well, we were going to bring that up tomorrow too.
Damn
I
it.
just stumbled across it. Was like, I feel like torturing people.
Half the reason I bring up the brain organoid shit, especially from her, is because I know it gets to you.
Dude, this makes me mad, bro. Like, here's the thing. Regardless of whether or not you're spiritual, this is the utilization of human brain material derived from a source, regardless of what that source is. This is like edging the very edge of a modern Prometheus situation, and I don't like it.
Yeah.
Yep.
For those who don't know, the black dots on the thing are sort of a combination between synapses and undeveloped eyeballs.
Interesting.
Interesting. All righty. Well, we are at that time. Let's go around the panel. I think we're making a good time today. We know that Hannibal has won. We've got the first ever damn Sam, what do you call it? Everybody's in agreement.
Unanimous.
Oh yeah.
You're unanimous. Thank you. All right, Devil, what you got going on?
Here in a little bit, the 100th episode of the pub is happening. We got Melee K, James, and Gal is returning. So yeah, tune in. We're gonna do a whole show essentially going over things I found on YouTube, asking questions and gaining arguments. So it's gonna be a very lively show, hopefully. So
all right,
tune in.
Sounds like a good one. Abe?
Yeah, I'll be there as well. Then after that, I'll be
Asleep?
over on the full Aussie. No. No, I still didn't get to sleep last week, even though I said I'd try, and I didn't.
Even not for another 2 hours.
Yeah.
Actually, no, it was like another 4 hours. It was almost 5 a.m. by the
I
time
used to do that, but then I learned to not light the bowl from the bottom.
That's a crack joke, people.
Well, yeah.
Yep. Then
That's-
later on, I'll be on Anime After Dark. Then I'll be back on Screaming Into the Void. Then I'll be on the Jack and Abe Show on Tuesday, Hump Day Chinwag on Wednesday, Stargate Streams with the Full Aussie Crew on Thursday. Then I'll be back on Rockefeller Plazas over on Friday night / Sunday morning. And then I'll be right back here.
All righty. Sasquatch,
What'd I do?
What do you got
what you got
coming
going
up?
on, buddy?
All right, so tomorrow I assume I'm going to be screaming into the void unless otherwise something else happens.
Yeah, I was sick last week. That's what happened.
It's fine. It's fine, bro. Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern, Blast Radius. We've kind of changed the format a little bit, and I got a couple ideas I'm going to throw in there this week. What we've been doing, instead of doing like the current event stuff, which we still do, but we do it much more condensed and quicker, and then discuss some amount of pop media of some form, whether it's something social media based, something movie based. Recently, we've been doing a lot of movies. We'll do one new movie, one old movie typically. Sometimes we don't get to the old movie. So that's been an interesting organic change that took place. We never even discussed it. Tuesday, I'm going to be on Ajot's Corner, where we're going to be disassembling some very, very unsavory people in the naughty corner that are doing interviews like Jim Can't Swim type stuff. It's kind of the approach. After that, I don't really have anything else. That's about it. I'll be on Powdered Dusty any old time I happen to be over there, because I do stuff there too.
All righty. Aaron?
Aaron, oh, that's me.
Yes.
I'm Aaron. You can find me here in the chat most Fridays and Saturdays.
All righty. And hey, you're always welcome back on the panel.
Thank you.
Yeah, just let us know so we can make sure you get the link. As for me, I may be playing Call of Duty with Sevi tomorrow. I have to check. I will be, if Amira goes on, I will be in the chat moderating, and I will be here next week for Abyssal Musings, which, by the way, we will be doing one of our newer segments, which is we will be taking a trip. So it is time for Eerie Adventures, and the next stop will be New Orleans.
Nolans.
So Aaron, you're, like I said, you're welcome back on the panel. Sasquatch, if you're not busy, I'd like to have you on next Friday.
Poke at me. I don't usually have anything planned for Fridays.
All righty. Devil, I mean, we'll see you here anyway. I mean, this place is going to hell, so just getting close to where you live in. Abe, man, you were the failsafe last week. I appreciate you. I appreciate you coming through.
That's always good.
All right, Sam, I guess that leaves you.
It does indeed. It does indeed. So here in a little while, I'll be over on Devil's channel, Beelzehub, for Beelzepub's 100th episode. It should get interesting. We haven't had Gal back on in a minute, and she gets yelly when she gets sleepy. So this should be fun. Plus James is chaos incarnate, so that'll be lively, as you said. After that, tomorrow we've got Screaming Into the Void right here on this channel, and probably Sasquatches as well. We've got some things to go over. We're going to probably get a little bit into the political. We're going to talk a little bit about brain organoids. We're going to talk a little bit about robots and the nefarious uses they'll be put to. Just the usual kind of shit, really. Although we do have some more topical topics this week. But keep an eye out for that. That should be a lot of fun. You could also find me helping out with Amira on her channel, Exiled Lioness 2, whenever she goes live, most likely tomorrow night. And other than that, I started streaming Sekiro because I hate myself. So there will be more of that coming up. And also I think this week we're on for Stream of Consciousness on Adam the Renaissance Nerd's channel on Monday as well. So just keep an eye out for all of that stuff. Thank you all for being here. Thanks for putting up with my little split aspect ratio stream experiment here. I don't know how well this works out. We'll figure it out later. And all that. Thanks for everybody for coming on. Aaron, Laura, appreciate you coming on and hanging out with the boys here.
Hey, you're welcome. Glad we didn't scare you off.
Never.
Right. And to the audience, thank you guys for showing up every week. We appreciate all of you. We wouldn't be able to do this without you. That said, have a great night, everybody. And remember, it could always be worse. It could be raining flaming cobras. Bye, everybody.
Bye.